in regards to the international, it's going to be the classes. It's going to be an amazing marketplace. We're going to have a really great event Friday night with music and then actually, not to totally give it away, but John Uri Lloyd is going to appear from the dead and come and visit us.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. He wrote that whole book about the dead.
Yeah. So,
or whatever it is.
Yeah, Edidofa. And so there might be some like mystical play that kind of brings to life.
Yeah, you may have hallucinations even without plants.
Yeah. So we'll be tapping into all kinds of fun stuff as well, beyond all the classes. But yes, I'm a big fan of Edidofa, and which is Aphrodite spelled backwards. That John Uri wrote this book. I think it was published early 1900s.
Right.
Yeah, and
if you can explain it to us, that would be a great class.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think he was, passing down his own insightful wisdom of, science and questioning things, and kind of that balance between, using plants for plant medicine, but also that delicate dance between very intoxicating plants.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of tidbits that he kind of gets us to think about in that book. He was a very complex person, to say the least, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
And one of the movers and shakers of botanical medicine in the broadest sense. I mean, drug development as well. And
so I just, just as a quick note, I did a birthday trip to Bhutan. I just got back a few days ago, and I was so blown away by the fact that they have a traditional medicinal hospital.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And it was only founded in I think it started in the 1970s as a way to keep these traditions alive and to provide this to people. And it really just got me thinking, what would things be like if there were still schools of eclectic medicine, and we had both the allopathic and herbal medicine really working together, and what that would look like, and what is the future of carrying forth this herbal knowledge, and how do we incorporate it into our lives. And anyways, it really got my mind sort of spinning, and
well, I'm another dimensional. I will never be in a hospital or working with the doctors. I'm in the Harry Potter world.
Yeah. So I guess my hope is that this will reinvigorate the history of the eclectics, and people will rediscover it.
Yes.
And it'll kind of make its way into the future in whatever form it's meant to be. But I feel like it's a wealth of information that's, waiting for kind of a revival of sorts. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it has been slowly reviving for the last 30 years or so. I would say David Winston would have been maybe the first of Herbal Ed Smith. He tells the story, Herbal Ed, that he came to Cincinnati to visit the Eclectics if they were still here. And there was an eclectic pharmacy. And he got there 5 minutes after they closed, and he said to himself, "Oh, well, I'll be back next year and I'll visit." Next year it was gone.
Yeah. Wow. That's a great, I'm so glad you shared that. Ed is coming to the conference.
Oh, great.
And, it kind of goes along the theme in the article. I really encourage people to download the journal. It's free on the UPS website. But he's one example, Herb Farm in general, and him and Sarah Katz, we're really inspired by the work of the Eclectics and the establishment of Herb Farm. And you could probably say that about several other herb companies that were, replicating formulas from the Eclectics in their herbal products that are on the marketplace.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that story kind of tells how ships passing in the night, like our modern Renaissance just barely missed that the oldest of the oldest. And I feel sad for them that they didn't ever really get that feeling. Oh, there's a younger generation that loves us now, because
yeah,
they're really kicked out of existence by the
yeah,
FDA and all that. It was really
yeah.
FDA.
Yeah. But I think, they were wise enough to leave this like treasure trove, right, of a library that they had built over their lifetime. And
Yep.
they knew that, this information was never going to not be important, right?
Yeah.
Despite political. And I think it's really telling for our time, right? Like, I mean, we kind of are in a little bit of a dark age, a lot of people have really questioned, different aspects of our medical realm. And, I think it does seem like a very synergistic and like really important time to come together and just as people who care about plants really connect. And the other thing too that I love about the Eclectics is that they were conservation minded. That's the theme, United Plant Savers as a nonprofit, the mission is conservation of at-risk medicinal plants. And the Eclectics were very much focused on conservation, where these plants were coming from. And then just like, you can't talk about the health of a person without talking about the health of the planet. And I think herbalism and environmental activism are like really one and the same, right? So
yeah, that is important also. And the eclectics and the physiomedicalists were in the Ohio Valley in Cincinnati due to the tremendous amount. That's like the heartland of the Eastern Woodland ecosystem and of Eastern Woodland herbal medicine that is Native American medicine. And there's like, there's 220 species of hardwood trees in there, or trees that non-conifers. There's even a lot of conifers, some you would never expect. I think there's loblolly pine or something, some vestige stuff that should be in Colorado, but is in Illinois and not planted. So there's just a incredible diversity there. It's the great homeland of the Eastern Woodland ecosystem. So we'll be right there in the midst of it, and that's why the Eclectic Institute is there and the library.
Yeah. So not to be missed if you're like on the fence and you have looked at the website and you're like, I don't know if I can make it. I really encourage people to sign up. There's only a few slots for like the in-person event. And as I mentioned, you can also sign up, to be online, but it's really, there's really nothing like being in person with so many people who are like knowledgeable and passionate about plants. And it's going to be an herbal throwdown, a hootenanny.
Yeah, I hate to be morbid, but a lot of us elders, there's going to be less and less of us as the years pass by. So this is your opportunity. Most of the founding members of the Renaissance, David Winston. I don't know. Is Michael Tierra going to be there at all, or
he should be? I'm going to tell him to come, but no, he's not. Okay. But maybe he'll change his mind. He's still got time, but he's not speaking.
Okay. And then Herbal Ed Smith. So that whole generation. I don't know about David Hoffman. That's almost impossible to get him out of.
Yeah, no, I can't get him there.
His little plant cave in California. But this is a chance to meet really people from the first generation of the herbal renaissance and to learn what that was all about. Because I've noticed a lot of the 20-somethings, they don't realize, they don't know that we were all afraid of being arrested for a decade there.
Yeah.
And before us, they were arrested. They kind of stopped arresting, not